Welcome to Grow Guyana, a weekly journey into Guyana's agriculture sector, bringing you the stories and perspectives from the people that are shaping food security, climate-smart agriculture, and supporting livelihoods. I'm Ramona Luti, and this week we're shining the spotlight on often overlooked crops that play a major role in Guyana's agriculture sector, ground provisions. We're also taking you inside one of the largest hydroponic farms in the Caribbean, the growth of the agri-manufacturing and services sector, and the role agriculture has played in the local labor movement. This episode begins in the fields, where the farmers are cultivating ground provisions that continue to play a steady role in Guyana's agriculture sector.
We're here at Hague on the west coast of Demerara, where farmer Deochan Gangadin is showcasing how ground provisions are feeding families and supporting food security across the country.
And this is Hague back, and this is one of the potato plots there presently right now. A plot probably about 6 weeks old. All provision and cash crop for now. Only head we don't do for the provision. Cassava, potato, plantain, cash crop, bora, balange, cucumber, pepper, everything. But something just be in season. You don't got all of the same time. Turn and half. Price good sometimes, price low. But that's why you just got to try get it at a regular base. So when the price is up, you gain. When the price is down. Up to like 3-4 weeks ago, potato was at high demand. Presently, it come down right now. Well, we can't confident about road though because it could be here about a year and a half now. We get the all-weather road. So what before was it, yeah, bad weather was plenty struggle in terms of road. Bringing tractor for plant to crop in time. But now there is one part where I come off from. And drainage and so used to be a part, but everything in place now.
From cultivation to consumption, the Grow Guyana team looks at how farmers are maintaining output and getting crops to markets across the country.
Ground provision farming begins with land preparation and continues with consistent management to ensure these healthy crops reach your markets and your tables.
This is like 6 week old potato. So from the starting, for this potato is like your land preparation is the main part. For bring the land to standard in terms of the loosey of the soil. Then it depends on the soil pH. Now you got to know if you want a little bit fertilizer. But it all depends on the pH if you throw fertilizer before you plant. Because normally what you just do now, when you bed off, as your rows now here now, we just cut these sweet potato plants like, as you see here, about 6 to 7 inch part. When you plant the sweet potato cassava, now you always got to face it for the root bead to where the breeze coming from. So you must fall out. So from here now, we just face it to the east. Cassava, potato, the same thing. In the long beds. For the potato, now when we plant the potato in the forest 3 weeks, if we not throw no fertilizer in the land, that will be your forest application of fertilizer. We just normally use like some urea mixed with the triple depth for the forest application. And before you do the forest application, there's also done spray for some insect. So it's not like, as we mentioned, not like one set of thing, you just plant this thing, you set 3 dose manure, and you finish it. You as a farmer, you gotta know, like, depends on what type of weather you gotta adjust for suit. Because something in rainy weather now, you don't need the 3 dose fertilizer. Something 2 dose good enough for it. Harvest time is by hand. You clear off the slip, and it all depends on the market you have. So mostly in here, how it does be, you just get like a 10 bag order. So you want one workers just come, and by 10 in the morning, half day you do that. Okay, you don't be there plenty. The only way just be now like is on a Sunday, you just pull like a 40-50 bag because Sundays when nobody buy one thing for the tongue market.
With growing demand, farmers are also exploring new ways to increase value. Processing and packaging are helping to expand market reach and improve returns.
Farmers are also considering value addition as a viable option to reduce spoilage and extend the shelf life of their produce.
For do that, you gotta get things in place. You gotta get your facility them now for in terms of the chips that it make the chips, get people to work with you. And then for me now, you can't just go jump and do it now because it's something you got to start as well with your farm, you got to build your customer. So if you start now, and then eventually when you grow in now, and then it could be good, yeah, because the potato or any provision will have bank up on you. In terms of wastage, yet too, because when it's cheap something, you don't get all push off in time. And then the profit could be a bit more better, because for you do know at least you work more than the $4,000 bag. The provision is important to the food security here because the demand out there for it. So if it wasn't something important, you should show demand on the market, people coming to you for it. If you watch wrong anyway, you go up on the road now, everybody using something constant ground provision anyway, egg balls, people using chips, if you go, people using soup now with it.
As Guyana works to strengthen food security and reduce the food import bill, ground provisions are playing a quiet but important role in this process. Over to you, Ramona.
Thank you, Josiah. The growth of Guyana's agri-manufacturing sector is being highlighted at the recent annual general meeting of the Guyana Manufacturing and Services Association. The Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa, emphasized that these sectors must work hand in hand to ensure Ghana's sustainable agricultural growth.
Agriculture, manufacturing, and services are no longer operating in silos. Rather, they are increasingly interdependent, forming integrated value chains that drive economic growth, job creation, and national resilience. At the onset, I want to commend the GMSA for consistently providing a platform where key stakeholders can enjoy meaningful activities, reflect on the progress, and chart a strategic path forward for Guyana productive and service sector. So we have to be consistent if we want a proper market, if we want to be an exporter, if we want to be a country that produces food. We have to be consistent. And here, your organization, your association, should come in. You need to do a lot of education among your members.
Meanwhile, the leadership of the GMSA also highlighted the sector's growth over the past year and the policies that have been put in place to ensure these are possible.
Guyana's manufacturing sector recorded 20% growth in 2025. That 20% growth, that is a testament to each and every one of our businesses in the manufacturing sector. There was a growing demand locally for locally produced goods. Value-added products continue to grow, driven by economic consumption and export readiness. Our members are building the foundations of Guyana's food security. The government's manifesto 2025 articulates a national vision for economic growth and industrial modernization that aligns with our own priorities: growth-centric, sustainable, and inclusive. We embrace that framework.
The Victoria Greens Hydroponic Farm spans approximately 2,500 square meters and is a local company with foreign investors from the USA and Colombia. Journalist Josiah Williams visited the facility and shares how hydroponic farming is expanding agriculture in Guyana, delivering faster harvests, cleaner produce, and a new vision for food security.
Hydroponics is changing the way food is grown here in Guyana. At Victoria Greens at Monrepo on the east coast of Demerara, this system is being used to produce fresh, high-quality crops without soil.
In the world today, what's happening, we're having a lot of negative impact on our environment. So things like soil degradation, climate change, and many other obstacles. And hydroponics is a way to move away from traditional farming where you're dependent on the soil. If you have poor soil quality, with hydroponics you don't need the soil anymore. You're able to control what you're growing and how you're growing it, how fast it grows. So this facility is an answer to traditional problems or issues that we're having in Guyana, and also it's an addition to our traditional farming techniques that we use locally. With this technique, I'm able to grow produce that you wouldn't necessarily be able to grow in our climate here in Guyana, because I'm able to control our temperature, humidity, things of that nature. Some of the challenges faced that we face in this hydroponics farm: consistent flow of energy, power. So, you know, here in Guyana, backup power is important and it's costly. So one of the things looking forward to is the reduction in energy costs. Being the setup that we have here at Victoria Greens, heavy wind, rainfall, and these things doesn't play a negative role in our environment because we're protected from it. So that's a plus for us.
Representatives also shared how soil-less plant production differs from traditional farming and if this could be the future of agriculture.
During our visit, a Victoria Grains team member demonstrated their innovative process from the seedling all the way to the harvest stage.
Every week we do seeding, so what happens is a seeding plan is done and we plant the seeds. We use a grow medium, not mud or sand. It's a grow medium mix of like perlite, vermiculite, and some other things. That germinates for 2 days within the germination chamber. And then from the germination chamber on the second day, it comes out into the nursery. Depending on the plant, they have different time period that they would spend in the nursery. This is pak choy, so from the nursery it comes into the NFT system, or nutrient film technique system. And this is going to spend 4 weeks in the system, and then it turns out to look like this crop at the back, which is the 4 weeks. So there's a 2-week intervals between it. So every 4 weeks, pak choy is ready for us to harvest. This is the last stage of the pak choy growth that I started on. So this is 4 weeks. The staff would pass through with a checklist. And one of the things they're looking at is how it looks, in terms of how healthy it looks, the color of the leaves, how clean it is, white flies or any type of pest that's on it. So regardless of how it looks, we're going to harvest everything because it's ready for harvest. All right. Once it reaches the prepping area, that's when we sort. So based on the condition of the plants, for example, this some of these pak choy has, some burn on the leaves. This wouldn't make it into the packaging process for package individual product because of the aesthetics of the plant.
This farming is not only directly contributing to the reduction of the regional food import bill, but also creates a pathway for young people in tech-based farming.
Facilities like these are opening the doors for youth involvement in agriculture by involving them in their farm-to-table process and equipping them with the skills to drive the sector forward.
We have a really good relationship with the Guyana School of Agriculture, NARI, and some pilot projects that falls on the NARI here at our farm. We do offer part-time jobs to students from Guyana School of Agriculture. We have a lot of young people who come to, not permanently work with us, but just to have the experience. So we don't have a shortage of young people showing interest in this type of agricultural technique of growing produce. We're planning expansion in the near future, hopefully this year, where we're adding some new products to our list. So currently we do mostly leafy veg, and we're going to be expanding into things like bell peppers, beefsteak tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, broccoli, things of that sort, using more advanced agricultural techniques. We're looking at introducing automated systems where we can take photos of any type of pests that we may see within the greenhouse, and it will automatically research that and give us techniques to use to get rid of those pests, and some other things we're looking at. Things like climate control, to have better climate control systems. We're looking at employing that here within the greenhouse, and the future greenhouse that we're having.
With technology shaping the future of farming, facilities like this are setting the pace for what agriculture in Guyana can become. Over to you, Ramona.
Thank you, Josiah. Ghana's labor movement has played a critical role in shaping the nation and also shaping agriculture. The Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union, GAWU, has played a key part in this movement, and the union and people who advocated for the agricultural workers are being remembered.
We remember Hubert Nathaniel Critchlow, the father of trade unionism in Guyana, who first organized the dock workers, demonstrating that in unity there is power. We remember the sugar workers of 1948, who struck for 80 days, and their 5 comrades, known as the Edmore Martyrs. We remember those who were beaten, arrested, and blacklisted simply for demanding respect. We remember our own fallen Gawu comrades, workers who died in accidents, who retired in poverty, and those who left us too soon. We honor them. We cannot betray their memory. We will continue the struggle peacefully, democratically, and with unwavering resolve.
Now we take a look ahead to see how agricultural and general workers will continue to play a significant role in supporting the sector.
We have to start diverting our thinking. We have to start thinking about educating young people. We have to start looking at all employment. And we have to look at finding ways and means as a trade union to educate people where they can improve their working conditions. Now let me say this. There are thousands of children leaving school as late starters. They might write 6 subjects, they get 2. We as a trade union need to establish a school where we can train those young people so that they can go back to school and study, and they can qualify so that one day they will make us proud.
And that's it for this edition of Grow Guyana, a weekly journey into the stories, people, and ideas driving the country's agricultural future. I'm Ramona Luti. Join us next week as we continue to track the growth, challenges, and opportunities shaping Ghana's agriculture sector.